All right, here it goes in 3, 2, 1.
Are you fed up with constantly searching for the records you want? Are you tired and frustrated from always straightening out your LPs? Now with K-Tel Record Selector, this will never happen again.
Incited the erection. Insurrection.
The morning stream. The morning stream.
The morning stream. Look out, Muppets!
The morning stream.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the morning stream. It is TMS for Tuesday, January 26th, 2021. I'm Scott Johnson. There be Brian Ibbett.
Yes, I'm not falling into it. Normally, if you launch into a pirate voice, I will follow suit. I'm not going to do it this time. I'm resisting.
I like this.
I will resist.
Yeah, Brian's his own man. He doesn't need me to lead him anywhere. He can make his own choices. And then what'll happen is the shoe will be on the other foot, and he'll start leading me down roads. And I'll start doing stuff because he prompted it. See, that's how this works.
Exactly, yes.
So we're back. It's a Tuesday, which means second day of the week, and we're happy to be here. We got stuff to do. Listen, the thing about yesterday was it was a weird day for me. It was a very busy day. I didn't talk about it on the show so much, but we got my mom moved to rehab.
Right.
And she actually did say no when they told her to go to rehab.
Okay.
She didn't want to go. She wanted to go home, which
She wanted to stay at home with Ray?
Maybe not quite that, but she wanted to stay home.
She ain't got 15 days.
But here's the problem, though. Like, her going from her surgery to ICU time to non-ICU to now going to rehab, which could potentially be up to a 2-week thing. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to do it. She'd rather go home. But here's the problem. John... I don't know. Still don't know what to call him. I guess he's my stepdad.
John. Call him John.
All right. He wasn't. He came into my life when I was like 35. So,
probably in a court of law, if they were to say the plaintiff's stepfather, John, but that's I guess if you went to a British court, apparently.
Right.
But
Your Holiness, I present following in. Yeah, so he's whatever he is.
I just got you to do a British voice.
Thank you for that. See, it's already happening. It's already working. But he's 90. Sorry, he's not 90. He's 86 or 87, something like that.
Yeah, he's pretty old. Close to 90 something. Yeah.
But for the most part, he's always physically been about 20 years younger than he is. Like, he's a very fit, physical dude who does just fine, and that's great because you want an old guy who can get around. The problem is this stuff with my mom leading up to it and during it and the stress of it all, his back is like completely blown out, like just completely fried. He couldn't even go down to the hospital yesterday. It was so bad.
Oh, no. Okay.
Right. So now there's that. So yesterday we were dealing with that. Like, okay, well, what are we going to do? We got to help him get worked out and figured out. And he's super stubborn, doesn't want to do anything about it. Doesn't want to talk to anybody. He's super stubborn. So we got to figure him out. And so there's no way if my mom was going home, he can't help her. Mm-hmm. Like, he just can't do anything right now while his back is shot. And so he's waiting for some doctor to give him some injection that'll like fix it all temporarily anyway. So there's that going on. There were about 10 other things happening yesterday, and it just was crazy. And so I felt like I didn't have a proper TMS 10-year mindset. Mm-hmm. Like, we had a great time yesterday, no question. But I was just kind of, And then, like, we had an appointment for Kim to go to Kim has to go to the doctor today. I'm not getting into details. It's nothing serious, but she just needs to get checked for something. So that's happening today. And at 1. So it's also this like.
I think we've already talked about what's going on anyway, haven't we? Didn't we talk about that last week? With I won't say anything either, but
I thought we talked about it.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go into it. I wasn't trying to prompt for more details.
No, it's okay.
But I think I compared it to trying to coil the hose back up after you've had it stretched out over the lawn. And
we did, but where was this? We talked about it.
We talked about it on TMS. Where did we talk about it?
No, I think we talked about a pre-show film sack. I think is where it came up.
No, because people in the chat room were commenting on my specificity of stretching the hose. It was yesterday, they said.
Was it yesterday? I don't
remember. Claire says that was literally yesterday.
No, here's how she said it. That was literally yesterday, she says. Says Claire Gack. Right. So okay, fair enough. That's the kind of day I had. I don't remember even saying anything, but
But we won't bring it up anymore.
Basically, they're checking a hernia thing is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they just want to make sure it's not like, a problem. So they're doing that today at 1. I'm going with her. They're going to make me sit out in the parking lot because, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to finish up today's Fred and Ken in the car. So
that's good. Well,
so that'll be good.
Tin. Is he a tin can or an aluminum can? He's a tin can.
Okay, so he was. So some have asked me. We know he's an expired can of cream corn, but how expired? Yeah. And so the answer is, this can of corn is somewhere it was canned somewhere in the early 90s. So I don't know what the 91, 93 that range.
Yeah, what do they use for cans? What do they use for cans currently? Is it steel?
I don't know. Don't even know.
Steel, would it?
Well, steel would be stainless, right? Unless you'd have less.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea.
I really don't know what they currently use for cans. I mean, you hear tin can, right? But that I don't think they've used. Do they still use tin? I didn't think they still use tin.
I don't think they use tin anymore.
Aluminum is what they use for pop cans, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, we knew that.
Steel coated with plastic on the inside. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a bummer because I was really hoping it would be either tin or aluminum because it's the 10th anniversary is the tin or aluminum anniversary. So,
which I only learned yesterday, by the way. So
exactly.
Oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed by that. That was That was one of the worst. The worst. I mean, I got lucky a whole bunch, but it was one of the worst brain farts for me that we've ever had on here.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
By the way, I know it was great watching you guess things like dirt,
meat,
cheese, food, chocolates.
I mean,
wait, is this Valentine's Day or an anniversary?
You never know. If it's like a freaking French tradition, maybe they would say, you give a wheel of cheese.
There's a baguette. Happy 3rd anniversary. Here's a baguette. It's really, really good.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so I brought this up directly to you via text.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, the New York Times is watching us.
Uh-oh.
Specifically, the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, we got on this whole thing about the difference between shortening and lard and fat and Crisco.
Yeah.
And that evening, I was doing the Friday crossword puzzle, the New York Times crossword puzzle. So it's the Friday one that comes out. I get it at 8 p.m. Mountain Time.
Right.
It comes out 10 p.m. Eastern. And I texted you a screenshot of one of the, I'm finding it right now.
I'm going to put it up for the chat as well.
Oh yeah, good. Was it Friday? Maybe it was Thursday. But it was the clue was where is it?
Band name derived from the phrase crystallized cotton oil, is that the one?
Crystallized cottonseed oil. Yeah, so its name is derived from crystallized cottonseed oil.
Oh my
which
gosh.
I didn't know, but I knew cottonseed oil. Oh, crystallized Crisco, right?
Yep.
And so it was like the day we did it.
Right. And in the 10 years of this show, and maybe the entire relationship I've ever known you for, we've never talked about Crisco until that day.
Never until now.
Not once.
And then I didn't tell you about this one, but you remember during Playdate, we played a game of Murder Mystery Party.
Right.
And one of the questions was, how many sides does a tetrahedron have?
Mm.
And
right. I thought it was
like
7
3 or 12 or 7 or 4, and turned out to be 4. And I was thinking, tetrahedron is not like 12, but it obviously turned out to be 4.
Sure.
That night, the New York Times crossword puzzle prefix meaning 4.
What?
It was tetra.
What?
And it's like, what's going on here, New York Times crossword puzzle?
I don't like that. I mean, I'm sure someone would say it's just a coincidence, guys. You do a lot of things, you say a lot of things, so of course the puzzle is going to have stuff that accidentally falls in. But two of them, one of them, shame on me or you. 2 of them, shame on everybody, or however that phrase goes.
Pete Crumb 73. It's called Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. I know. It's I'm. Things are going to randomly magically sync up. It's like when you go into a room of 100 people and you say a date, it feels like there's always a chance that there are going to be 2 people that have a birthday on that date, right? There's some weird, it's not like everybody's going to be perfectly decollated amongst themselves to not have any duplicates, but for whatever reason it's like, oh my god, we have 2 people in this audience of 100 out of 365 days that have the same birth date.
It's intense, and that's what humans look for it. We look for it. We like
so.
patterns. We like stuff that lines up, and we try to find weird explanations for them. You know,
right?
Like it can't. How can it be possible that?
How exactly?
How did I look outside and see a dog right when the radio said the word dog?
Right, exactly.
Weird.
So,
weird.
just I'm gonna Will Shorts. I'm keeping an eye on you, but I know these things happen. So, if a third instance happens, then we're cooking with gas.
This time of year, he's Will Pants because it's cold.
Will Long Pants.
Yeah, Will Long Pants. There you go, cozy pants.
Will Overcoat.
There you go. All right, I got an email we have to share once in a while. We get one of these; they're impossible to ignore. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I could just delete it and ignore it, but I'm not gonna.
I mean, it's possible to ignore it.
Sure. Yeah, I don't want to get into the possibility stuff here, but we're going to read this one. So this came from Chris. I know this because at the end it says yours and Chris, which I really like.
I do like that.
I like that a lot. All right. Chris says, Dear Sylvanas and Borax. Okay. There's no connection between Sylvanas and Borax. Sylvanas is a fictional World of Warcraft character, and Borax is a cleaner thing.
It's a detergent. Yeah.
Is it also an element? There's no boron's what I'm thinking.
Boron is an element.
Thinking of boron, yeah.
But Borax, no. There's not in all of the World of Warcraft, there's not a
Lieutenant Borax.
A boss called Borax. It
Right.
feels like it's
Well, except it'd be BORR apostrophe AXE or something like that.
Right, yes.
That's all they do. Anyway.
Borax is a 60 Tauren restoration druid on the
So it's a dude.
This is just somebody's character.
Yeah. Some dude named himself Borax.
Right, exactly.
And didn't get kicked for it. That's fantastic. All right, he says this. Dear Sylvanas and Borax, have either of you ever eaten a raw potato? And if not, under what circumstances would you eat a raw potato? Yours and Chris. Only by accident, like these aren't cooked yet.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like you decide you're gonna make some really cool potato rounds like they have at your favorite restaurant, and you put them in the frying pan, a little bit of oil. You flip them over when they look nice and brown on the outside, and whoops, they're not fully cooked in the middle.
Yeah. This has definitely happened to me before.
Yeah.
Sometimes at a restaurant, usually not though. It's usually my own making or whatever. Kim makes a really great corn chowder soup thing.
Yum.
And in it are these potato kind of quarter round potatoes, and they're almost always amazing. But one time they were undercooked, and it was just like crunchy and starchy and not great. So the answer to his question from me is no, not on purpose. Okay, so just grab. I'm going to assume he means grab a potato, peel that bugger, and just bite into it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Have not done it. Under what circumstances would I?
If I was an astronaut that traveled to Mars and got abandoned by my crew and had to grow something with my own poop.
Yeah, your own poop.
And it turned out to be potatoes.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any way of preparing said potatoes. Then I'd eat a raw potato.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting because the guy who wrote The Martian was the lead developer, software engineer for Warcraft, Orcs and Humans, as well as Warcraft 2. And so we've made a real round connection here.
No kidding. From Sylvanas to Borax to potatoes to the Martian to the dude who worked for Warcraft.
That's right. Take that, Will Pants, wherever you are right now.
Right. Work that into number 17 down.
Yeah, get that in there, buddy. Anyway, if I'm so basically what you described, as much as it's ripped from that movie. If I'm stranded somewhere, starvation's an issue, potatoes are all I have no way to cook them. Yeah, I'm eating a raw potato. It's fine.
Of course, yes.
If
it's the only food available, of course.
But under most circumstances in modern polite society, I can't think of a reason why I'd want to. So,
no.
Yeah. It's not going to be good for you.
No,
they're going to rip through you and give you the diarrhea.
Smashed. Yeah, I think it would, exactly.
Yeah.
I do need to make some smashed potatoes. Where you take the small potatoes and you boil them and then you put them in an air fryer and get them all crispy.
They're so good, dude.
They are so good. I've been craving them, and we, around Christmas time, got a new toaster oven that is a toaster oven air fryer, convection, blah, proofing, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
Broiler.
Yeah.
And since we got that, I've been craving making smashed potatoes.
I've not had those in a bit, but I do love them. Oh man, do I love them.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good. But they will not give you
Diarrhea.
Okay.
They will not give you diarrhea. If diarrhea is 23 across on tonight's New York Times crossword puzzle, we'll know. We'll know for sure.
What did a weird old guy from Florida say when he came off a ship plank?
Right.
Yeah.
How someone from Staten Island pronounces the squirts.
Are they doing? Can you go on a cruise now? Is that a thing I can do? Like, I'm not that I'd want to, but I mean, like, are we? Is that allowed or?
I don't know. I think Carnival, no, but you might be able to do like a Norwegian or something. I mean, we've got friends, our friends, Rusty and Shelley, who are going to get us to the Pinball Hall of Fame or Pinball Festival in Texas this year.
Yeah.
We're going to get us last year, and then we're going to get us this year, and now we're going to do it next year. They went on an 80s cruise that they had booked, and it was basically they left on this thing the week after the first COVID cases in the US. So like it was timing wise, it was like, oh crap. Well, we paid for it. We got to go.
It's like a little crossover. Yeah, I get it.
But it was like a really cool, like, you know, it was 80s rocker cruise. I wish I could find the email. I could, but it'll take too long. But there were a whole bunch of other, there were rock stars on board, like Kip Winger, I think was there. And
oh my Lord,
Yngwie Malmsteen or something. But they had the wherewithal to install hand sanitizer all over the place. So like stations everywhere you went, sure, even more than they usually have. And they had banners that say, hey rockers, we know you like to high five, but let's try practicing elbow bumps instead. And it's like a rocker doing one of these with a mask on his face.
Wow.
So they had the wherewithal to get those banners made up. So it was enough time since COVID hit, but it wasn't, they didn't cancel the cruise.
So the winger guy, like top billing, or like who else?
No, I can't remember. I don't know who was top billing. I could find the email. He gave me a list of who all was there. Obviously they had some cancellations.
That's pretty funny. I was looking up, by the way, while you're looking that up, I found Carnival's site, and they are doing cruises. However,
really,
man, the sales they got going on right now. I mean, this is all about making people want to go. So check this out. They used to, so the average per person for their national plan vacation day, let's see, whatever, regular cruise, like $125 a person, $60 now per person per day. Let's see. If you book early, you had to do a $50 per person deposit. Now those are free, plus room upgrades for free.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you do
please come here.
If you do a survey, they'll give you another 40% off. Like, these guys are like, please come be here, please. Yeah. Look at this. 4-day Bahamas. If you leave Charleston, South Carolina, and go to the Bahamas, 4 days, $259 for the whole thing.
Jeez.
Like, that's ridiculous. So
I found the here's the banner if you want to share it with
for sure. Put
the
it
live stream. I just put it on our Discord.
Awesome. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, dude, really?
Look at these two.
These guys are great. Look at these chuckleheads. That's amazing.
The 80s cruise recommends elbow bumps and rocking on.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, don't forget the rocking on part.
They are way closer than 6 feet though, that's for sure.
So was that all like, middle-aged dudes who kind of burned out on their 80s metal?
Yeah. Apparently. I'm looking at the list, and he says who didn't show up. He says the B-52s and Bret Michaels both canceled.
The B-52s. Hold on a minute.
The B-52s. So I think it was more like an 80s cruise as opposed to heavy metal, like a hair metal cruise.
They should have broken up into factions and had a fight. It's like Gastown and the Bullet Farm and stuff like that. That would have been cool. The 80s rockers with their freaking...
Yeah, exactly. Nelson, come out and play!
I would be into that cruise. That's cool.
Let's see. If this is the 2021. Yeah, here we go. Human League 38 Special, Berlin, Belinda Carlisle, Morris Day and the Time, ABC, DSL, which is the Dire Straits Legacy.
Wow.
That's not the phrase that's not what DSL stood for at my time. Nina Blackwood, Mark Goodman, and Alan Hunter from MTV. What's Nina Blackwood doing these days? The world's best 80s band called Jesse's Girl.
Wait, the band is called Jesse's Girl?
The band is called, I'm sure they're an 80s cover band. I'm sure they wear
terrible
headbands. And then you got the Sugar Hill Gang, Johnny Hates Jazz,
Yeah.
John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band, Great White, Trial by Fire. Don't see those two together.
No.
Wait,
Great White was the band that burned down the thing, right?
That was my joke of Trial by Fire.
But that was them. That
was them.
They're still showing up on cruise thing. I thought that was the end of that. I thought we'd be done with Great White.
Well, there wasn't a cruise when the Great White thing happened in a bar in Philadelphia.
Was it their fault?
Right?
I don't remember what happened. Did they do it? It wasn't.
Yeah, it was their pyrotechnics.
Oh, see, that's what I thought. I thought that would ban them from like anybody would ever hire them for anything again. But I guess not.
Yeah, Rhode Island. Well, certainly. I think nowadays they're probably doing a pyrotechnic free show. It's an unplugged Great White experience.
Must be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. But Great White sucks. They're just a bad band. Like, why do we? Whatever. It's a cruise. It's a cruise with washed up rockers. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I would. You know what? That doesn't sound that bad. I would probably.
No, are you kidding me? Human League, Belinda Carlisle, Berlin.
Yeah.
I'd be all over this. I don't know how many of these people canceled.
Right.
But I'd be all over this. And it goes to Port Canaveral, Nassau, St. Thomas, St. Martin. God, it just sounds so good. Oh, no, the one I'm looking at apparently is 2022, March 5th through 12th of next year. Okay. And all the people that I mentioned are going.
Hey, Brian, I smell a Brian
so there's now I still can attend this thing that I've been describing.
We'll see what happens. We got to keep those secondary weird mutated versions of COVID away. So far,
right, exactly.
So far, the data suggests. I don't think anything's final yet, but it looks like the current vaccines are also effective on these new gnarlier strains. Yeah, because one of them's like a 30% more deadly thing or something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm talking out of hand here.
More contagious, more deadly.
Yeah. So let's get. Hey, everybody, let's get vaccinated. It's gonna happen.
I just would love to see if some of these bands change their lyrics for COVID times. So 38 Special singing "Hold on loosely, 6 feet apart."
Don't touch me. Yep, that band. I used to think they were cool. I had a tape or two back in the day.
38 Special was the jam back then, man. They were great.
They were all right.
They were all right.
Kind of a Nickelback of its time, if I'm honest.
No, come on. 38 Special?
A little bit. Like a string of okay hits and then no one cares, right? Like that's kind of their legacy.
But I don't think that they thought they were anything better than they were. And that's kind of where I feel like the Nickelback.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's something to that. They maybe at least it felt like they kind of knew their place in history or whatever.
I mean, the knack I'd put into that category. The nickel knack is what I put into that category, because they at one time said, "Oh, we're bigger than the Beatles," or "We're going to be bigger than the Beatles," and that's thinking maybe you're a little bit more than something you are. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love the knack. I miss Doug Feiger, lead singer. Doug Feiger. His last name is Feiger. I can't remember the first name, but
he now runs the MCU over at Disney.
That's might be why I'm getting it confused. Yeah, exactly. But
I don't mind the knack. The knack is fine, but they do have a knack for overstating their importance in the history of music.
Correct, exactly. They might think they're a little bit more there. Anyway,
I was gonna say this. Yeah, potato. Oh yeah, Brian. What same deal? You'd only eat the raw potato if you had to.
I don't only eat the raw potato if I had to. Exactly.
Is that where we started this, and then That is the most divergent conversation I've ever had.
It's like that's not a rabbit hole. That is a prairie dog tunnel system that we just went through.
Yeah, Bill Murray's out there trying to find out how to blow it up. I can feel it. Hey, check this out.
Dan Wally says I'm correct. It is Doug Feiger.
Oh, I meant to ask you. I meant to ask you this because I was talking about it on Twitter, and I meant to ask yesterday. Is there a cover? Not a cover song. Is there a one-hit wonder? And by definition, one-hit wonder is a band with a single hit. Is kind of the definition.
With one hit that is like one Billboard hit.
Some people were confused by this because when I started talking about it on Twitter, they'd come back with things like such and such from the Killers. I'm like, dude, the Killers are not a one-hit wonder band.
That's one of their hits, but that doesn't make them a one-hit wonder.
Some people are confused. But anyway, I don't know that you've ever told me. I'm sure you have, but remind me, Brian Ibbott's favorite. I mean, so mine the other day was Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus.
Yeah. That's
and I love that song. I just freaking love it. There's something in it that just works, I think, for every generation. It's fantastic. But that's like all they had. I mean, they had some other stuff, but it was nothing compared to that as far as that goes. So that to me is the definition of a one-hit wonder. Do you have one that stands out for you?
Yeah, I won't say this is my favorite. This is the first one that comes to mind is T'Pow and Heart and Soul.
Oh.
Because that was give a little bit heart and soul, give a little bit love. Yeah. See, and Tally Zarell says, "Come on, Eileen." Dexy's Midnight Runners had they had a couple hits. Come on, Eileen was the big one, obviously, but they also had a hit with a cover of "I'm in Heaven When You Smile." It didn't chart as high, but it still got on the charts.
See, and Alucard is smoking crack. Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's mom. Fountains of Wayne had a ton of great catalog. There wasn't just one song for them. Yeah. See, these don't count. These are no good. You got to look at things like Cinderella. Speaking of hair bands, remember Cinderella, Brian? Remember them?
Cinderella, yeah.
They had the shoe, and they went and found the lady, and it was a pumpkin. And no, different.
Different thing.
Yeah, but they had
performing with Salt and Pepper. Nope, that's a different one.
But even Rat had 2-3 songs you could recognize, but Cinderella had a one, and that's what we're looking for here. Not a well-established, well-respected band like Fountains of Wayne. They did all sorts of cool stuff. So you can't.
I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. Great example.
Great example.
Right Said Fred had nothing else.
Now,
Chumbawamba and Tub Thumping.
Yeah, they had 2 songs that were one-hit wonders if they were in different dimensions, right? Like they just happened to have two hit wonders.
Who's that?
Chumbawamba, right?
They had 2?
Didn't they? They had the
Tub Thumping.
I saw the sign. Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else.
That's Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. Sorry. So Ace of Base.
Also another. Well, Don't Turn Around was a hit for them as well.
Yes. So they have 2, and I think once you have 2, you don't get lumped into this yet.
Right. OMC, How Bizarre, great example right there. Yeah, I'm having to look up Dexy's Midnight Runners because you know what? People said, well, it's probably they were hits in England, but they probably weren't hits in the U.S., which I would totally go with. Big Country?
Yeah.
One hit wonder?
I don't know. Is it?
In a big country, dreams stay with you. And can't think of another.
Who's the guy that
country
did?
Hit.
Wouldn't it be good to be
Nick Kershaw? Come on now.
What else?
See, that's it. Yeah, I think he only did have one hit. Bigger in the UK.
Yeah.
He had The Riddle and God, I have so many of his singles that were UK imports.
Yeah.
That he was great in the UK. Only made a blip here.
Yeah, with his
one of my favorite 80s performers, actually, Nick Kershaw.
How about Here in My Car, I Am Safest of All? Yeah, how many do they have besides that?
Gary Newman. So Cars, Our Friends Electric.
Okay.
Was that a US hit? Might have only been a UK hit.
I don't even think I know what it is. Don't know that song. How does it go? Give me a bar.
I can't. That one, that's going to be as tough as trying to sing Nutbush City Limits by Tina Turner, like I tried to do during Film Sack this last weekend.
Yeah, that was a fun attempt, though. I enjoyed it.
Donna Lewis, Now in a Minute. Didn't she also had I Love You Always Forever Here. Didn't she have 2?
Feels like there.
See, okay. And Lars, The Cars had Drive.
Oh yeah.
Come on. The Cars had a ton. My best friend's girl.
That car. You know what? How do you ban people in the chat room? That is terrible.
Kicking ban.
Just kidding. We're not gonna kick you. But that now, if all you ever heard was Drive, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But they have a gigantic
Tonight
catalog.
She Comes.
Yeah.
They even had like 3 or 4 more hits from the same album as Drive.
That
like
album was
Hello
huge.
Again was a hit.
Yeah. That album was huge. And also, they gave us that great line that's a really good advice still today. This one. Don't let nobody pick your bum.
That's right, exactly. So, all right, Kaja Gugu, I'll give you, if you don't count Lamal's success with the solo success with Neverending Story.
Neverending Story.
Yeah, but as far as Kaja Gugu, yeah, I mean, the band, which that would be me bringing that up would be like a technicality.
Yeah, for sure.
Mickey, Tony Basil, Falco, 2 hits, Rock Me Amadeus and Der Kommissar, which became a bigger hit for After the Fire with their English language version of Don't Turn Around.
Yeah, I like that song. Mm-hmm. But that makes them a 2-hit wonder. Okay.
The Church, Unguarded Moment, and Church had a couple hits. Unguarded Moment and Reptile? No, there was another one. There was a bigger one for the Church.
Reptile wins. My favorite finishing move in Mortal Kombat. Hey, did you do you know who Aha, does that count? Someone was trying to tell me that Take On Me is like their only thing that was ever
Take On Me was big, but was their biggest, but The Sun Always Shines on TV hit the Billboard charts as well.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
And I think even the James Bond theme broke into the Billboard charts as well.
Yeah.
Under the Milky Way was the other big church single.
And those are the rules, right? If we're counting hits, if they're on Billboard's at the Billboard charts somewhere in the list, that's how we can say.
Yeah, I mean, basically, a hit is making it onto the Billboard Hot 100.
Okay, Hot 100, not the top 40, but the Hot 100.
The Hot 100.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
Which is all.
I mean, I don't. That's. It's probably pretty subjective, right? As far as what is, or objective, it's probably based on what somebody wants to say as a one-hit wonder. Did they hit the top 10 twice, or did they hit the top 40, or did they hit the top 100?
Yeah.
But for me, it's Dan Wally says top 40 is a hit, top 100 is just marketing. You know what? What does Wikipedia say is the definition of a hit?
I don't know.
Here we go.
Did they say?
Fred Bronson, a journalist and former writer for Billboard magazine, in his book Billboard's Hottest Hot 100 Hits, uses the criterion that an artist is ineligible to be categorized as a one-hit wonder if they have a second song listed on the Billboard Hot 100.
Hot 100. Okay.
Me and Fred Bronson. Boy, does that sound like a made-up name.
Ibbett and Bronson together at last.
Ibbett and Bronson. It's Team Bronson.
Yep. So the Hot 100, incidentally or coincidentally, the Hot 100 is also what the casting agents at the CW call the only people they hire for their TV shows, the Hot 100.
That's right. Very good.
That's all they work with. They do about 100 people. They're all hot, and they make TV from them. So good job, guys. Hey, real quick here.
Yes.
We forgot about the Bills yesterday. We have somebody taking us to task. Phil from Buffalo wrote in. Says, "Dear Scrubbing and Bubbles, after listening to the brief recap of this weekend's sports ball games, I wish to lodge a complaint on the part of the Buffalo Bills, who went completely unmentioned. I ask you please rectify this situation immediately. Sincerely, 1994." It says.
All right, there we go. We've mentioned the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, we've mentioned them. Now, the Bills did win.
No,
right?
The Bills lost to the Chiefs.
Right. What am I saying? We're down to 2 teams. Yeah, they're done. Yeah. They're out. Yeah. So why would you? That's us mentioning them is just sad, right? That's a sad.
Right. It just brings up a sore point for poor Phil from Buffalo.
Yeah. Mention those losers.
Yes.
Okay. And then we got a new listener alert. I like to call these out on the show.
Oh.
Hi guys. This is from Cal. Short for calendar, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "Hi guys, just started listening to the show about 6 months ago, and we moved from Oakland to Arvada. So imagine my surprise when learning that Ibbett is from Arvada, and currently there, And Jury is from Oakland. Well, he's actually from Florida, but is currently in Oakland. Anyway,
right.
Keep up the good work. Maybe Brian can drop some fire food recommendations for newcomers to the Denver area. Like some hot, fire food.
Just some hot.
Yeah.
Not like food that is served on fire.
Yes, Brian, could you please list all your flambe choices in the
Well, I
area?
mean, there's, let's see, you can get a good baked Alaska over at this place.
Sure.
And
Sure.
What
do you usually have one big one you recommend, but like we're in COVID times, things are weird. It's not Costa Vida. What do you call it?
The Lot 1 burger at a place called Lot 1 in Five Parks is currently my new favorite non-chain burger. And the only caveat to that, the chain burger but just goes right above that is the bonsai from Red Robin, because of the pineapple and the teriyaki, and I don't know what kind of crack they're putting in there, but I desire it.
There's some, definitely some.
But Lot 1 here in Arvada in Five Parks, don't try and get any of the other fancy burgers they have on their menu. Get the Lot 1 burger, and you won't be disappointed.
That sounds fantastic.
What else?
I want that today.
Yeah.
Like right now, I would eat that. I would.
Yeah, I'll reach out to me, Cal. Let me know what kind of food you like. Coverville@gmail.com, and I'll give you some recommendations, because it's hard to just throw out like. Right now, I don't even have a Mexican food place that is my go-to, because the one that was my favorite in downtown Denver, Benny's, is closed still because of COVID.
Are they planning on reopening, or are they done?
Who knows? Their website, they are being mum on their website, and definitely not Casa Bonita. They're also on the bubble. Are they going to open? Are they just gonna let it die? We don't know. Just a bummer, because Casa Bonita is like, it feels like such a Denver.
It's a staple, but that you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be there for other reasons.
There's a reason that you have to buy, to be able to walk into that place, you have to buy a meal.
Yeah. You can always go to Buffalo Shots, or whatever the hell it's called. Your Bobert lady owns. She owns a place called Buffalo Shots.
Oh, Buffalo Shots? Yeah, great.
I'm sure it's nothing but really intellectual, smart people there.
I wonder if you have to wear a mask to go in there. Oh, yeah, Lucille's. Lucille's is awesome. Breakfast place, New Orleans-style breakfast place, and their beignets are off the hook.
Oh, a good
Chicory
beignet.
coffee and beignets, man.
That sounds really good.
Yes, Multi-Beast.
Nice. All right. Well, anyway, Cal, I hope you enjoy your time in Arvada. There's some rumor floating around in the chat that Jury's moving to Texas. Is this true?
Really?
I don't know. Is he
going
moving
to Austin?
to Austin to move closer to Schwood so they can finally consummate and have coitus, or what's the plan?
Well,
So it's not a rumor. It's happening. Oh, no wonder. So they were talking about home ownership on the on Twitter, and I couldn't figure out where this is coming from, because I'm like, Oakland prices are ridiculous, and now it makes sense. Okay, that all makes sense. All right. They're just going to get
Scott,
out there.
are we going to have to do this so we can compete? Because, if they're going to be doing the Nightly Attack, I could see them changing their show to the Nightly Attack.
Yeah, do it at night. You do it in the morning, and then I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue you guys into the dirt.
A-A-A-T-N-A-A-A-A.
If they do it, if they start doing a morning show, I'm gonna send
gloves are off.
Yeah, I'm gonna send bugs in the mail or something. It's gonna be bad for you guys. Don't do it. You hear me now. You hear me then. You look at me and look at you.
That's right.
All right, Brian. We're gonna do some news. Not a ton of it, but some. We're gonna do that by playing this here transition right here. It's time for the news, brought to you by.
I can pour my coffee and do an ad at the same time. Indie Games Done Right with Scott Johnson and Brian Dunaway tonight on The Boop Show, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time, live at frogpants.tv, or later, whenever you want to listen to it, on podcast, wherever you get them. Frogpants.com, Boop, B-O-O-P, for details.
There you go.
Just in case somebody wants to spell it B-U-P-E.
Yeah, /boop for those pains.
Did you grab that domain just in case? In
case
somebody says it's...
I think we have boopshow.com just in case. We probably should just forward
good.
it. I don't know why I'm not doing that. I should do that.
Oh, yeah. Boop.
I have a few like that. Boop.
The Bube Show.
Hey guys, look at this. We got some trapped Chinese miners. Yeah, that's right.
Oh no.
You'd think.
Are they under 18? Is that the deal?
Well, I see what you thought. You thought they were kids, but no. These are and these guys are chopping at the rocks to find the good stones.
Their mining skill is almost maxed.
Something like that. They're getting there. But anyway, 12 miners have been trapped underground after an explosion in a Chinese mine, which is no good. Anyway, they said thanks for the medicine because they sent down some medicine. So that was good.
That is good.
And they've got this little thin communication tunnel, let people know what's going on. So they've got some nutritional liquids, some medicine. But right now they just really want pork sausages. That's all they want now.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm visualizing the old cartoon long line of sausages that are linked, like basically linked sausages. They're all attached with just like a pulley system that they're just like cranking it down the well, and they're just constantly pulling the.
Now I'm told some breaking news here.
Yes.
Since this story first appeared, it looks like they've all been rescued. So that's
good.
Yeah. So that's really good.
So now they can get their nutritional liquids, medicine, and sausage at home.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you, my mom had to drink thickened liquid her first day after surgery. Yeah, because when they pull that intubation out and you've had it in there for 10 hours, sometimes you can't swallow like worth crap. So you gotta eat your apple juice.
Oh, geez, is that what she had? Was thickened apple juice?
Something like that. Yeah. She said, I think that I was having a hard time telling what she was telling me, but I think she said apple and maybe there was one other kind, but definitely that sort of.
Apple glunk.
That like Newtonian liquid. What's that called? Where you can punch the liquid and it doesn't move.
Right, Newtonian.
Newtonian.
Yeah.
Newtonian.
Yeah. Newtonian.
She says it was a lot like that.
Like you could do that with what is it? It's it's the stuff you thicken gravy with. What is that?
Cornstarch, right?
Cornstarch. Yeah, cornstarch and water.
I want to make my own, but I want it to be
non-Newtonian.
Yes, non-Newtonian. Okay. I want it to be a big old like a pool. That's what I want. I don't want it like a little glass. That's lame.
Yeah, and then you can try and jump into it, and you'll look like that Swedish guy that meme of the Swedish guy jumping on the frozen swimming pool and cracking his spine.
Yeah, honestly, of all the videos videos I ever saw on the internet, that one probably lives the most rent free in my head. I see that guy all the time. It's just
and it is just painful.
Yep.
Like any kind of slipping and falling on ice and landing on your butt. Ever since I did that on the stairs and fractured my coccyx, I feel it anytime I see something like that.
Do you still have your donut? Do you still have that around?
No.
Okay.
Well, I imagine somewhere in the house, but no, I don't need it anymore. If that's what you're asking.
Look, I don't know where you put your coccyx, but I'm not going to ask.
Wherever I put it, it's the 10 years of the last people who put their coccyx there or something. Like that. Right. I know there's some phrase there, but
there's something there. We'll workshop it. Don't worry, everybody. We'll find it.
I'm proud of myself that I got that whole birthday thing, birthday problem described, the paradox.
Yeah, well done on that. Avengers in the news. Check this out. This is crazy. So, still haven't seen WandaVision. Can't get the family together. I think I'm going to finally just watch it myself. I'm just going to watch it myself.
What's the matter with you people?
Everybody's got something going on. It's like, all right, fine. Like last night, they were like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm in the mood to think about something new. Just watch King of the Hill or something." I'm like, "Okay, I'm just doing this then. It's going to be me doing it." Yeah. But anyway, originally, apparently, Avengers Endgame's original post credits had a scene that was going to set up WandaVision, and they pulled it.
I'm curious what that scene would have been.
It might have given away too much, I would say, right? Like, if you just spent time in your last 2-part films eliminating Vision. And maybe that's too much to think about when then they're setting up this thing where suddenly Vision's in your thing with Wanda, and you're like, now, wait a minute. And maybe that makes your brain go to what they're actually doing here, which I theorized yesterday based on nothing because I haven't seen it. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I would have been curious to see how, and wonder if they'll ever release that post-credit scene, because it's not on the Blu-ray.
Right. It says
I'd
here.
Be really curious to see what they do.
It says here it's some of their most unique storytelling to date, which even though I haven't seen it, I would agree it's weird. Based on what's been revealed in its 1-hour special premiere, this is a little older now. It's nothing like anything from the franchise before. It leans into inspiration with direct reference to I Love Lucy and Bewitched, but with hints to a bigger and darker narrative going on. That said, things panned out the way Marvel Studios originally wanted. Endgame would have explicitly set this up through a stinger. And as it stood, we didn't get any kind of stinger at all. Right? Did we get anything? We had the funeral. We had
Stark's funeral. It's a Marvel movie, right? No stinger. Yeah, I guess not. I
don't think we did.
Yeah, because I guess it's a way of saying, we de-emphasize Tony Stark's sacrifice if we have the rest of the team eating shawarma at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that was probably the right move.
That's right. It was the actors' signatures. It was like showing them and then their signatures.
Oh,
yeah,
that was cool. Yeah, I really like that.
By the way, speaking of that shawarma thing, somebody put the Bernie meme into the Avengers shawarma scene.
That's perfect. And you know what everybody's been trying to do is insert him into everything. But one of my favorite ones was where somebody finally went, well, what if we insert things into him? So they duplicated 2 Bernies sitting there with their mittens and their coats. Yeah. And then they put the heads of Waldorf and Salad or whatever the other
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf. And they put their heads on them, and it looked like they were like laughing at each other. It was perfect. It's maybe my favorite of all of them.
That's great. That's awesome. At some point today, and I'm hoping that it's not so far gone, but Joel Telling, the 3D printing nerd, great guy, and I follow him on Twitter, and so jelly that he and Bill Duran are friends. He's going to be posting a little 3D print Bernie that you can make, and it's Bernie without the chair, so that you can like put a little sticky on his butt and stick him on the top of your monitor with his legs hanging over.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
I want that.
Who doesn't want one of those?
I'm sick of that meme, and I want it.
I know. Right. Exactly.
I want it right now. Let's do this.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, no, people are crazy. The things I saw, like somebody knitted an entire thing with like within an hour of seeing this. Like,
oh well, it was our own Jessica Immel, I think, from the Tadpool.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did she crochet it? I didn't know that.
She crocheted a yarn Bernie.
Maybe I saw it on Facebook and it was her.
You might have seen it on Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook.
Oh my God, that one's great. It's like a Jack Kirby Bernie in like the Thanos throne.
Well, the first thing people did was like try to think of big important chairs, right?
Yes, right.
So that's why quickly
Game of Thrones, Iron
Game
Throne.
of Thrones made sense. In fact, that took longer than I thought it would. I thought there'd be more Game of Thrones ones. But like I saw a great MODOK one where they just made his head huge. What was the other one I saw? There was another great chair one. Anything with a chair. And you were just like racking your brain so you could be the next viral freaking meme poster. This is pretty good. I did
the one on. I put him in the what was her name?
Wanda
on top of the mom or the grandma in Vacation who dies, and they put her on the roof.
Doreen Gray.
No, it was like classic Cloris Leachman.
Cloris Leachman.
Cloris Leachman, is that right?
I love her.
I do love her, but I don't think that was Cloris Leachman.
No,
but anyway, whoever it was, I basically put Bernie in place of the dead grandma on the top of the family truckster in Vacation.
We're always worried about Betty White. Has anyone checked on Cloris Leachman? She's 94.
Imogene Coca. Thank you, Swamp Rat.
Yes. Check in on Cloris Leachman here. Let's just see how she's doing. Okay, yeah, still around. 94. 94 is old. And I love her. And she should never die.
So good in Raising Hope.
Take that, Betty White.
That's right.
All right. Final story here.
Yes.
A limousine awaited the Tiger King outside of a Texas prison, but that pardon never came.
Yeah.
But they literally...
You got to know you're pretty bad when even you can't get a pardon in that cavalcade of pardons that happened on the last day.
Yeah, there was a lot of pardons. There were a lot of sort of, not pop culture pardons, but like didn't Lil Wayne or somebody...
pardons.
Yeah, a lot of rap pardons that day. But there was a limousine waiting out front of the federal prison in anticipation that this was all going to go through, and it freaking didn't. He's still serving his 22-year prison sentence. He was found guilty in 2019 on animal cruelty charges for trying to hire someone to kill big cat rights activist Carol Baskin. Or
Carol Baskin.
Yeah, I killed her. The entire story was told in the much-watched, of course, Tiger King thing on Netflix. No word on a possible pardon in the final, or I guess we're over that now, so it doesn't matter. Malinando Passage's legal team, remember he had that weird-ass name, asked Trump to pardon him 2 weeks before.
I call myself Joe Exotic as well, if that was...
Yeah, exactly. When the president issued his list of 143 pardons and commutations, right? Yeah. After midnight on the Wednesday before him leaving, Malinando Passage, whatever, was not included. So he didn't get it. He's still there.
Mr. Exotic.
Yeah. And he had sent this like heartfelt letter that was like, I admire
Well, I remember they tried everything. They tried spending thousands of dollars at a Trump hotel in hopes that would, like, he'd see the receipt. Oh, they spent a lot of money in my hotel. Yes, I'll give them a pardon.
Yeah, he deserves a pardon.
Good pardons.
It was like $15,000 or something.
Yeah.
But then after this happened, he's on the record interviewing somebody, or somebody interviewed him, and he's just pissed and going, I never trusted him. He's a piece of shit president. Beep, beep, beep. Just like really mad.
Biden should pardon him just to like drive the nail in it. All right, I'll pardon him. Sure.
You know what? Tell him he's pardoned. Get the limo out there again, and then just do a JK as it gets close to the door. JK, and put him back in. Say we were kidding. Not JK Grammar. Not JK Grammar. JK is
or JK Rowling.
Or JK Rowling.
Rolling. Because I think of the joke that somebody had in Nerdtacular. How does Harry Potter get around? Walking. JK Rowling.
Oh, and that's how we knew it was pronounced rolling.
That's how we knew it was pronounced rolling.
Oh, well, there you go, kids. Remember that in case you're wondering how to misspell a very controversial person right now. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Justin Robert Young will be here. I'm asking him about his move, but we'll also talk about some other stuff, probably in politics. We're in a new phase here, and we'll see what Jerry has to say about it. That's coming up next. Before that, a song selection from the vast and unending library of Brian Ibbett.
Talking about those 80s bands on that cruise, this is the perfect kind of wrap up for that discussion. This is a Canadian retrowave artist by the name of Ryotron. His real name is Jeff Fetz, but
that's a cool name.
His performing name is Ryotron or Ryotron. He's got a brand new project called Dark Highway, and this just feels like it should be played in during the credits for the Terminator or some great 80s action film. He's let's see, let's just get to it. Let's just play it. Shall we? Sure. Here's the song Dark Highway by the performer Ryotron.
To choose your favorite music, tilt the first record forward. The others follow automatically. Pick your selection when it appears. To choose more LPs, lean the next record forward and wait for your choice. The Record Selector is a new space-age design for selection and storage of records.
Hand him over to me. The morning stream. Circuits, don't fail me now.
Welcome back to the program. By the way, do you recognize this voice?
Hand him over to me.
Sound familiar?
No.
That is Thundercleese from Brack, the Brack Show.
Oh, really? Okay.
And,
awesome. I need to watch those now that they're on HBO Max.
Yeah, they're all. I don't know how long they've been on Max, but I just noticed them the other day, and I told you about it because I knew you were a fan.
I love Brack.
And I'm like, I don't know, 5-6 episodes but it's so good, dude.
I've seen so few of the Brack Show episodes because all my Brack enjoyment came from Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which is, there's not a lot of those episodes either. But there's a whole show of Brack.
A whole show of Brack. His dad makes me laugh my head off. Thundercleese down the street is this giant evil robot that it's like he's like a neighbor. I don't even know what to say about it except that whatever is going on in Brack speaks my language 100%, and I've always enjoyed it. So it's back, baby. Go watch it.
Cool. Brack is back. By the way, back announced, that was Dark Highway by Riotron. Go check them out. RIOT, just like you would spell it. RIOTRON.
There you go.
Riotron.
Riotron. It's like you need a riot? Buy Ronco's Riotron today. It'll do your riot for you. Hey, look at this, you guys. I got this.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Joining us all the way from beautiful Oakland, California, soon apparently to be somewhere in Texas. I'm just hearing about this. Justin Robert Young is joining us. Hi, Justin.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello,
hi.
friends. How are you?
I'm good.
Hello, hot Justin.
You want to?
That's me because I've got your volume up from last week.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't go changing.
It's me. It's you.
All right, wait. How about now? How about now?
It's not you. It's me.
Good?
Yeah, go back up. Brian messed you up. Go back up a little bit. There you
Back
go.
up. Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
That's what we like.
What's going on?
That's perfect. So can you
Perfect.
can you confirm or deny these rumors that you and Schwill are going to finally you're going to have a penis fight and go live there? Like, what are you going to do? What's happening?
I mean, what are you, my dad? Like, what are you? I do what I want. I'm a lone wolf, man. I'm moving through the plains. I'm just seeing where it hangs, brother.
Brother. Well, I saw you guys talking about house hunting stuff on Twitter, and all I could think of was, oh, that's so expensive in Oakland. How's that going to go? And boy, howdy, that mortgage, all these things in my head. I didn't realize it was maybe it'll be in the Austin area, which sounds very cool. Sounds like a great idea, actually. I'm stoked for you guys, is what I'm saying. So just don't do a daily morning show with Schwood. That's all I'm saying. Don't do that. Have a nighttime
we're coming.
show.
We're going head to head, baby. we're gonna and I'm gonna have myself on as a guest on Tuesdays. I'm gonna steal me away, and I'm gonna counter program.
Wow. Looking
forward so yeah, we're moving to Austin. It's gonna happen this year. Either Ashley or I have bought a house before, so that's been its own process. And it's weird. It's weird leaving a place that we've lived for damn near 10 years now, and while it's in such a weird place,
Yeah.
like it's very odd, because the things that you would think you would do when you were leaving someplace after living here for a while, like do all your favorite things, go to all your favorite restaurants, make sure that you're kind of like getting the last kind of taste, just doesn't exist. Like we some of our friends have already moved.
Yeah.
Others, we are not in our bubble, so we haven't really seen in a while, nor would it really be appropriate to see them in the next few weeks. And so it's simultaneously almost more intense because we've only hung out with like two people that are in our bubble, one that lives in our building and another that is a friend of mine. For a year now, really. And so it's odd, but at the same time, this is something that's kind of been in the offing for a while. And as much as we love this area, affording a place was just never really going to be. Well, I'll put it this way: there are three factors. Number one, we would need a lot of money to buy a place out here, which, like, I have faith in myself. I could get some job and then another job and then another job and make enough money. Okay. Then we would need to buy a place in a place that we liked around here.
Yeah.
All right. Another layer of complexity. Maybe it would take a while. We've known some friends that have saved up for a long time that have tried to buy, and it's, not in areas that we necessarily think are great, and they still can't get it. And then there's the third, and this is really the most tricky. The state mandated monopoly of a power company, PG&E, keeps lighting things on fire on an annual basis, causing city choking smoke to come through, and that's something that Ashley, as an asthmatic has only gotten worse. And you know, this year wasn't as bad because she didn't have to leave the house.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, COVID protected her from it. But in the previous year, she was dealing with the ramifications of just living in that kind of smoke for like 2.5 months afterward.
Yeah, that's
and
a lot.
and that's just something that was not gonna go away.
Yeah,
because PG&E is a horrifying company.
Yeah, they're bad from what I can tell. So this is weird, or it's not weird. It seems like it's just typical. We have an estimated somewhere in the range of 14 to 15 new neighbors around here that have either bought homes or some of these new townhomes that have gone up or whatever, and like 12 of them are from California. Like everybody's moving here from California. We have this island space that's like in this lake. It's hard to explain, but it's across the road from us. And inside of that, the inner island residences, which just started being built maybe 2 years ago and now are really in full-blown mode or whatever. These houses are like 1.2, 2 million, something like that, which for here is an enormous amount of money for a house. In California, these same houses would be 15 million, 25 million. Like they'd be really expensive.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is those are all California transplants who are either commuting, quick trip plane commuting back to California every week and staying there for a week and coming back if that's their job. But they're paying enormously less amounts of money, but are ironically making the entire housing market here starting to go up to meet these, California people that are thrilled about how low it is, but the price is coming up to meet them. And it's weird right now. Just a weird thing for us. Not used to it. We're used to having our little bubble of normal housing prices and not having it affected by too much weird interstate stuff, but not right now.
I think part of it is also just COVID.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that the lockdowns have taught us is appreciating the area that we live in all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
And so the the fact that that's part of the reason why we're, it's like, hey, look, number one, I think we've understood that Ashley and I won't kill each other if we are forced to see each other 20 hours a day every day.
Yes.
You passed the test, dude. A whole year of that, and you guys got it. Look at that.
But at the same time, boy, would it be nice to have more rooms, and it would be nice to have a little bit more space. So, that's the process that we're going through right now, and we'll see. I mean, home buying in Austin is also a tricky thing. It ain't exactly cheap out there. It's cheaper than here. Like we have. It's affordable to get a place that is 10 minutes away from downtown there in a way that it is not here.
Yeah.
But and the space you can get is a lot more amenable, but it is also a very competitive market and it's not exactly going down. Right. The California to Texas pipeline is real, and there is no more California friendly city in Texas than Austin.
Oh, for sure.
Or at least Bay Area friendly city.
Plus, then you will be under the careful, considered, quality leadership of Senator Ted Cruz of the great state of Texas. So you'll have him looking over everything and making sure that the rights of Texans are
the
first.
Trains run on time.
That's
it'll
right.
It'll be very hard to give up the studied, exciting leadership of Dianne Feinstein, but I'll have to make do.
I just saw her in a documentary for that Night Stalker killer
about the birth of the Earth.
No. It
wasn't
that.
Was it like and on the seventh day, God called up his best gal pal, Dianne Feinstein?
I mean, it does feel like that, but it turns out she was kind of instrumental in screwing up the Night Stalker case in the 80s and making it so that guy got probably 2 or 3 more murders under his belt before they finally got him due to her leaking a bunch of stuff to the press. It was bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was younger then too, but it was a fascinating documentary.
She also apparently had a Chinese spy as her driver for like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, look it up. She just like it just like came out randomly. She's like, "Oh yeah, no, we took care of it. He was just like my driver for 10 years." This Chinese spy.
Wow, I didn't know about that. That's funny. Or also,
I'll have to. Yeah, I'm probably getting some of the details wrong, but I know Chinese spy Dianne Feinstein, and for a longer period of time than like 2 days.
Yeah, she's trouble. All right. Anyway,
it's funny here in the Bay Area because I don't know if I've met anybody that is like, "Yay, Nancy Pelosi," not too many, or "Yay, Dianne Feinstein," and yet they get elected like they're like Kim Jong Un, like or Saddam Hussein. Like they just get elected by like dictator margins each time.
Yeah, it's that's a weird thing. But also, I would have said I don't know of anyone who likes Donald Trump, and yet there we were, right? Like, I don't know how this stuff happens, but hot damn does it happen.
Wait, no, but you did know people that like Donald Trump.
I did know
they emailed
some,
you,
and I'm sure, but I know
no,
people.
all you did was complain about people who like Donald Trump. Have you listened to your own show for the last
I know.
6 years?
Look, I know that, but what I'm saying is, I also I know people now who I follow or talk to or whatever that love Pelosi, and I can't figure out why they have the devotion they have for. I guess what I'm saying is, none of it makes sense. Like, it's all crazy.
I'm saying it's a local thing. Like, I know people that defend and love Nancy Pelosi. I just don't know a lot of them in the Bay Area.
Right.
Who are theoretically the people that are voting for her because she's in the House.
Here's the interesting thing, though. Like, you changed my very DNA on politics about 2.5 weeks ago. And I haven't told you about this yet. Well, I did a little bit on text.
I think you did, but go ahead.
Maybe I did. But basically, so here it is for everybody else to hear. Justin made a comment on the show about how politics are ground up in this country. Like, it isn't, we perceive it as, that old bastard Ted Cruz is in office and he's saying all kinds of dumb stuff. And it's all, whoa, man, what a firebrand. You know, like we see
he is poisoning the populace.
Yes.
That the populace are empty vessels, and now the leaders are spewing either inspiration or hate, whatever is in their little pitchers.
Right.
They are filling the empty vessels below them, and we are a product of our leadership.
Right. That is the impression, or at least this sort of modus of most of us. We see it that way. And when you said you think it's the other way around, that it comes from the bottom, and then those who represent us eventually not representing, obviously no one's going to represent everybody, but those who get elected have the majority who vote for them, barring gerrymandering and barring all the other issues everybody wants to bring into this, just for a second here, and let's push those to the side, just for conversation's sake. Like, the reason that a guy like Josh Hawley or a guy like Ted Cruz or a guy like Kevin McCarthy or whoever has the positions, the elected power that they have, is because it came from down here. And so in a lot of ways, they are the representation. In some ways, it's like this is the system working. It may not work for everybody all the time, but
we may not be happy about it.
We may be very unhappy about it, right? Like,
the people that get elected are, so it's not top down, it's bottom up,
right?
And the idea being that there are, and when you watch politics for long enough, it's fairly obvious because you see a ton of politicians trying things. Mm-hmm. They all try to be, I'm going to try to be this kind of guy, and I'm into fiscal conservatism, but maritime liberalism or whatever, and they fall flat because that's just not what the people want. The people that get elected and stay elected are good at understanding their voters and giving them what they want, or at least giving enough of their voters that will get them elected what they want. They are trying and shifting to be the person that they believe they want to see. And that historically, can sometimes be very ugly. It can sometimes be inspiring. It can sometimes be everything, but that is humanity,
right?
And
now that's the idea. So the other thing about it to me is, or why it changed the way I perceive things, is I'll listen to somebody like Rand Paul the other day. They asked him point blank on some news show, some morning Sunday show. They said, do you accept this? Basically, do you still deny that this election was fraudulent or whatever? Like, what's your stand on it now?
Do you think it was a fair election?
Yeah, and he just refuses to say that it was a fair election. He just refuses. He danced around it, used other language. He just refuses to say it. Now, my first reaction to that normally would be, you anus, like, you know better, and I do think he knows better, obviously. But him saying all that stuff, I'd just be mad at him down. But I'm not as mad at.
You would be mostly mad at him because he is setting a bad example for other people, and so he is giving the okay for other people to think like that.
Right, that's what I would be. That's normally why I would be most angry. What I'm seeing instead, which I think is the truth, is that he, in a calculated way, knows how he will stay in elected seats. Mm-hmm. And the way that he will stay in those seats is by, call it pandering, call it whatever you want, but by saying what those people want to hear the most, knowing what state he's in. Like Lindsey Graham the other day, for a guy who I can't freaking stand, he sure once in a while says words that are true without him knowing how true it is when he says it. He basically said, like, where do the Republicans stand on this trial that's coming up? He says, well, and talking specifically about GOP, and he goes, well, I guess it depends on what state they're in and what their voters think. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Like, Rand Paul's hardest, most ardent, devote the most money, give the most, do the most grassroots stuff, those guys, he's saying what they want him to say. Because that's how he gets to be in the cyclical system of keep getting elected and never have a term limit for a senator. So I'm starting to sound naive about this, but it really clicked with me in a way that it hadn't before, and I don't see it. I see it from a different angle now, and I don't know, just changed the way I perceive this stuff a little bit. I'm not saying thanks. I'm just saying, well done, jury. Well done.
Well, no, thank you. Well, I mean, you're welcome. I don't care if you say thanks or not. I'm going to act like you did and just say you're welcome anytime. Yeah, no. We're at a weird time right now. We're at a weird place because it does feel like some of the pressure is off compared to when Trump was in. It feels like there is a sizable portion of our electorate that has taken their foot off the gas a little bit. And that, of course, will have its own frustrating ramifications when the changes that many were hoping either don't come as fast or maybe not at all. We've already seen $2,000 checks immediately if they win the 2 seats in Georgia become $1,400 checks. That'll happen maybe by March, maybe by April. That when there is no, when the pressure is not as high, those are the kinds of things that happen. But at the same time, I do think that there is a moment for conversation. There is a moment for if the pitchforks aren't quite as sharp. I mean, in a lot of ways, this feels like the first time that we've had this moment in 6 years, because we didn't have it during the 2016 election. I don't think we had it at all during the Trump presidency.
Right.
And this is kind of what normally happens. And even after what happened on the 6th, there is a moment now of exhalation in terms of politics, as everybody kind of reloads for whatever's going to happen in 2022 and then of course 24.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it, I guess where this all brings me to is I'm not surprised that the rhetoric on the right now, from not all of them, but many of them, aligns with where they're from. And I don't mean, everyone in Kentucky's a racist. That's not what I mean. I'm making those kind of generalizations. But what I mean is, like, everybody is saying what they're saying, and I still think they're D-bags for saying it, about how the 6th was no big deal. We should move on. Healing, everyone, healing, all that sort of stuff. It's really obnoxious to me because if this was just a Benghazi level, they would never end. They'd go and go and go.
Right.
And I'm not even saying they shouldn't go on something that's a big deal like that. Like, maybe you should, but it's just so it's so typical that now we're there. I'm just seeing that typicality differently. Because it used to be just like, oh, you're just such dicks. Like, you're a dick, but now you're such a dick that you're really digging in like a real dick up here. But what I'm actually seeing is, of course Lindsey Graham's going to talk the way he talks.
Yeah.
What else would he do? And I don't mean because that's who he is. I mean because that's kind of who he serves. Like, the mandates and the things that have happened from the left, meaning taking control of the House in 2018, narrowly keeping it this last time, but then this Georgia runoff going in that favor so that we now have a tiebreaker in Kamala Harris and all this stuff.
In the Senate.
These are all, all of that movement is also from people getting out the vote and doing the thing on this side of the fence in a way that's motivating people who maybe wouldn't even have normally voted or whatever. That's why they all control it. That's why there's a Democrat in the White House. So I guess I just get it more. I don't know. I get it more. It doesn't make me, like, if I was in an elevator with Ted Cruz, I'd still want to pin him down and kick him in the nuts 50 times. Like,
that would be assault.
Straight up. Oh, I know. I know.
That would be, you could tell him you wanted to do it, but otherwise you'd be arrested. That's assault.
Yeah, it is.
When's the last time you got into a physical fight?
When was the last time you got into an elevator?
Elevator was 2 months ago. For what was I in the elevator for? I don't remember. Oh, when I was on that trip to St. George and we had an elevator to our place that we had. But last time I got in a fight.
Last time physical fight. Yeah.
Physical altercation.
Yeah.
Junior high.
I was gonna say it feels like school. Yeah. Doesn't feel like you were throwing a lot of hands.
Well, I broke my pinky.
Your 20s.
I punched this kid. So here's the quick version of the story. I've told it before, but this kid in this art class had stolen my concept and my whole project art thing.
You stole my concept.
So he started.
So junior high, we're talking what, 6th, 7th, 8th grade?
Seventh grade, I think. And he copied it and tried to turn it in before mine was done. So basically, he was going to get a grade for a thing that when I would turn mine in, it looked like I copied him, but it was the other way around. And I got so mad that I confronted him in class and said, "You cheating and you know it, and you got to tell Mr. Winterstrom." That was our teacher's name. And he said,
"Wow, this memory is sharp."
He goes, "Well, I'll tell you why in a second." He goes, "I'm not going to tell him anything. I'm just going to turn it in." Just being a total ass. He's this big.
Was he a bully or was he a nerd?
He was a bully. He was a big kid, and I was as skinny as a rail, like
a big kid who was copying art.
Yeah. Well, you know,
so maybe he had kind of a tortured soul.
He may have.
Of course, you take his side.
Yeah,
Justin.
Of course you would, Justin. Of course. So I hauled off.
I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm gonna option this and sell it to Netflix. No, I'm trying to figure out how I can get 6 episodes out of this. I'm gonna do a podcast series.
So I reared back as hard as I could and improperly punched him. By that I mean, you're supposed to do it head on. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it with more of a curve and hit mainly with the final 2 fingers, mostly the pinky.
Yeah.
And without knowing it, because I was so full of adrenaline, I broke
you didn't put your thumb inside, did you?
No. I didn't do
Okay.
that. That's bad. But I broke my pinky, and the bone popped out of my skin.
Whoa!
And I didn't know it because I was so full of adrenaline, I just didn't know it was happening until later.
Yeah.
But I punched him so hard that I broke my pinky. You can still see the white little scar from where they fixed it. And I broke his nose.
Jeez.
So he's just bleeding all over the place, and he starts crying, like freaking out. I remember it sounded like that. It was like that. Mm-hmm. And the teacher came over and goes, "Okay, that," and then grabbed us and then marched us down to the thing. And
they took my concept.
I got suspended for a week and a half. And had to wear a cast and all that, and it was lame. So anyway, that's the last fight I got into. It's a long time ago.
Wow.
I don't believe.
Yeah.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, jury. I don't want to, I don't want fisticuffs with you or anyone else. I don't want to fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, you fight in school because it's basically prison.
Yeah.
That's why first day of school I went up to the biggest kid I could find and punched him out.
I know, and then by senior year you were prom king. Like that's how it works. Like, people don't realize these are the paths.
Well, wait. Why did you ask me when was my last fight? I'm just curious. What was that about?
Oh, I don't know, because you said you were gonna kick Ted Cruz in the nuts 60 times, and I'm like, well, geez, I don't even know if you have the wind for that. Like, that seems like something you should train for. Like, I was just, I don't know, maybe you don't seem like the kind of guy who would just start scrapping in the parking lot of the Home Depot, but maybe. Like,
oh my God, I'm visualizing such a great training montage for this, where there's like a sack of flour on the floor and he's kicking it and then, juking.
First he kicks the bag of flour and he hurts his foot and I'm just there in a flowing robe, like shaking my head disapprovingly, like again.
Yeah, look, I did have this one problem for a long time that I've talked to Wendy about, maybe even on the show, because I could never understand where this is coming from. Maybe it's just pent up or whatever. But when I would, in my old neighborhood, when we drive past this gas station that was at the nexus of where all these neighborhoods spread out from, and we'd have to pass it no matter, anytime you go to the highway or whatever, you had to pass this gas station. And out front were always like 15-year-old kids on skateboards, just loitering, screwing around and loitering. Mm-hmm. And no big deal. They're just sort of there. But every time I drive by there, I always had this wicked temptation, like to the point of almost acted on it a couple of times, to get out of the car and just scare the shit out of those kids. Like, just walk up to them and go, "What are you doing, you little piece of shit?" It's like, just really put the fire in them. And I never did it, but I feel like, I'm not saying that fighting is good. Violence against other people is good ever, but there is something in our human nature that needs release sometimes, like just to get that stuff out, whether it's punching your wall or playing Call of Duty till midnight or whatever it is. And apparently there was a period there where I really needed to get something out because, man, I just wanted to freaking those kids, dude. And they weren't even doing anything. And I wasn't that old. I was probably like,
I feel like there is an element, because for me, a lot of that was, a lot of those kind of like mid-20s testosterone was like bar arguments and bar fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that seems like that is something that was not a part of your 20-something era.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair.
Because by the time that I hit 30, I knew how bad I was at fighting and how stupid it was. And I had been through it enough to know that, like, oh, that's a dumb thing. I'm dumb. That's wow. Like, never did I wake up the next day and be like, yeah. Like, I was always like, oh God, what was that even about?
Well, I didn't go to enough bars because I didn't drink, and I probably could have got more stuff out of me if I'd.
Well, no, I mean, but you actually had a productive life, so like that's
the things you accomplished. That,
I
was laying on the floor of the Jackson Hole beer tap pub.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
Content.
Yeah.
Like I got obsessed with side quests, and you just like 100% of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you just finished it way earlier.
I did kind of mainline the story. You're not wrong. That's a good way of putting it. It's like an open world game. I mainline the story. You guys got hung up on side quests. I like it. It's a good.
But now we've got all these world quests that are open to us.
Oh no! Well, you can't. Now we can't. Now we're screwed. Twisting corridors. Here we come. All right. Well,
the way you unlock those world quests.
Oh, I did want to. Did I say this to you already? I can't remember now. You're always telling me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're always telling me how you're not a gamer, but then you went and freaking what do you do in Hearthstone for the month? You got
Legend.
Ladder?
You got Legend in a video game. That's a video game.
Yeah.
So I call.
Well,
bullshit.
I mean, I play Hearthstone. I play because it's mobile.
Oh.
And let's be clear here, friends. I was not a Legend player in Hearthstone. I am a mobile-only Legend player. I am the Mulp. I don't know how many other Mulps there are in the Hearthstone community, but I I know that there are a lot of DALPs, deck tracker assistant legend players. I put deck tracker as one word.
Yeah.
But that's nice. It's nice that a lot of people sit at a computer and they can see what's in their deck, and they have predictions and probabilities of what the other person's deck are, and they can play it. It's like taking an airplane flight somewhere. Not me. Not the mulp. Not the mobile-only legend player. No deck tracker. You're playing it while you're also cooking food every day, while you're eating food, while you're washing dishes. I don't know any
things
other.
Make it not a video game, though. All of these things still support the fact.
I've never said that I don't play Hearthstone. The joke has always been that I don't play video games. I play Hearthstone.
Yeah, I would play.
That being said, I have played a lot more. I got the Oculus. I'm playing a lot more Oculus.
What are you playing on the Oculus? What do you like?
Yeah, what do you like?
Walkabout golf, baby. Yeah, me and Brian Brushwood and Andrew Heaton are we every once in a while. It's become almost like a daily thing. We just head on over to the putt golf course and talk to each other and play golf, and it's super fun.
That's actually pretty rad. Do you also? I thought you guys were playing Among Us or something. Weren't you guys doing that?
Not us. That might be some other people.
Okay. I just think after playing that finally, that felt like a game that somebody like you would excel in. It just seemed like.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing against it. Really, my problem with video games is not really a problem. It's a problem with me. It's a problem with time. It's a problem with being able to make all the things that I want to make and staying on schedule and making sure that everything is I remain motivated.
Sure.
That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is just making sure that because there's a lot of stuff that I'm working on, and I've also, here's the other problem, is that I've also been trying to not talk about what I'm working on, because that's another thing that takes away from me doing it. Especially if I'm the boss.
Yeah.
If I talk about doing it, then I will definitely not do it. Like, I have to live. My motivation has to be providing as fully formed a product to people as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And so that means me, not doing certain things or being cagey, but it also means that when I have free time, I think about what I can do to advance those goals, and it probably comes at the cost of me just saying, "You want to know what? It's time I go play video games."
You know what I need now is video games.
I need a good video game.
Well, why don't you now tell us about the other things you're working on that you want people to
tell
go
us
listen
the things
to
you can
and
tell
watch?
us about.
Yeah. What's good this week on the Jury Channel?
Well, man, I don't know if... Oh, I have merch now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
politicsmerch.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to politicsmerch.com, then you can find logo merch for Politics for Raise the Dead Season 1, Kennedy versus Nixon, and Raise the Dead Season 2, Johnson versus Goldwater. But we got all sorts of stuff there. T-shirts and mugs, stickers, magnets, masks.
Yeah.
I got a mask coming. I forget which. I think it's Raise the Dead Season 2 that I have.
Yeah, that's right. Because you didn't want to put your face on a
That was
mask.
it. Yeah. Oh, maybe I did talk about this last
We did
time.
talk about this last week, now that you're saying it. Yep.
But
We can talk about it again.
Very good.
yeah, but there we go. Go and do that. And then I'll tell you what, if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter in a while, or haven't checked out the newsletter, or haven't heard about it, then go ahead and check that out. Free Political Newsletter at freepoliticalnewsletter.com. It's kind of changed.
Oh, has it now? Okay.
Now each day there's a little bit more of like a written out writing take. It's a little bit less of a digest. There is the digest at the end, but there's a part up top that's kind of me giving my thoughts on stuff. And of course the emails remain the best in the business. So that is a daily fixture as well. So go ahead and check that out. Free political newsletter at freepoliticalnewsletter.com.
Justin Robert Young, have a fantastic week. Good log on the
Good
the house.
Good log to you, good sir.
Good log,
good log.
everyone. Good log.
Stay safe and have a good log.
Yeah.
The jury will now have a good log.
Oh, damn it. Man, what did I do?
The jury will now retire.
I forget every
That's
time.
the one.
Every time I forget. Okay.
It's all right. It's become funnier if you forget than it would be if you remembered.
Yes. And that was, by the way, a lot more fun than talking about the trial that's happening in a week and a half.
Oh, I agree.
Blah.
Totally agree.
Blah. All right, let's be done. There is some information here about Frog Pants Fantasy Football. Brian, you want to tell us what that's about?
That's right. Yeah, the Tadpool Fantasy Football for the 2020 season wrapped up. Had their biggest year this year with 4 full leagues running, the Film Sack, the TMS, the Core, and the Instance leagues. Which is great. Just love seeing that. So let me announce the winners. Thanks to Jigger Dad who sent these in. Luke McKeon won the Film Sack League. Sean Flaherty won the TMS League. Michael Thomas won the Core League. And Evan Hudson won the Instance League. And big thanks to the commissioners, Stefan Vigiani, Dan LaFaux, Paul Guerre, and Sean Farrell. There are plans for next season, so make sure that you reach out to the commissioners if you want to play in 2021.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with football swinging to an end, so does today's episode.
That's right.
We're done. A quick reminder that this week is a normal week. We'll have a TMS PM on Friday, and of course, shows tomorrow and Thursday as well. Lots of that stuff coming up. So check that out. Don't forget, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/TMS. Every day, new content goes up, including this show on its own private RSS feed with bonus content you don't get if you're just on the regular old public feed. So go check it out. That's patreon.com/TMS.
New content every day.
New content every day. Speaking of content, Brian's got music. We're going to play it now. Brian, what are you playing?
Well, that's right. This one's going out to Aaron. Says, I am turning 42 on January 26th and would love to hear a cover that week to make up for not being able to do much to celebrate this year. I have 2 ideas, but if neither is workable, I trust Brian to pick something cool. Number 1, surely there are Spinal Tap covers out there? ? I just rewatched it and it definitely still holds up and brings joy. And then second one is Animal Crossing. We don't even need to get to the Animal Crossing one because I've got you covered with the Spinal Tap. Boy, what was the year on this one? Back in 2009, a brilliant podcaster came up with the idea of having the independent musicians that he works with do covers of Spinal Tap songs. I don't know who this guy was, but it was just a brilliant idea. It was called Spinal Tap Unhinged, a Coverville Spinal Tap tribute, and it's available for download over at coverville.com/Spinal Tap.
Oh, wait, that guy let you host the files?
He let me host the file. What a brilliant, and even put the name
man.
Coverville on there and even all that stuff.
That's awesome.
This is Nerdtacular performers Paul and Storm with their cover of Big Bottom that they recorded for this amazing tribute. Here's Paul and Storm and Big Bottom.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
When fights get hot, I may undress.
Oh.
Hubba